Well, I didn't know we were going to have to go up against the refs yesterday. That's never a good thing. Let's recap it and run it back. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into the Hump Day edition here of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis, of course, each and every single day, and I'm the one giving you those free sports picks. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday, and then we got the next free giveaway to announce, and then we got to roll out some bets for you guys on today's show. As you guys can see there on yesterday's action right there, we went 3-4-1, down 2.03 units, and now down on the week 0.85 units. Just a bad day, but also just a lot of tough luck. Weren't just like sports bets losses. There were a lot of just unlucky things, that didn't go our way. And it started off right in the top in that Champions League action. Manchester United team total over 2.5 goals. That one was unsuccessful. Got a goal in the 13th minute. Ronaldo got on the score sheet right there. United was in control of that game. I mean, sure, Young Boys certainly had chances, and they could have gotten on the score sheet as well. But in terms of United also creating, that's certainly what they were doing. And then they get a red card on about the 35 minute mark to go. Wan-Bissaka stepped on an opponent. Ugly, but unfortunate because he was obviously going for the ball right there. But yeah, once they get that red card, that's game over. You're never going to get 3 goals right there. And as a United fan, also it went into just a dire worst scenario right there. They went ahead and lost that game in stoppage time. So just a bad game right there. Then the same thing happened in Sevilla versus Salzburg. That game was unreal. What happened to that game? Sevilla gets a red card, but well before that red card ever happened, which that came early in the second half, 4 penalty kicks. Salzburg got 3 penalty kicks in the first half. I've never seen 4 penalties in a half of football in my entire life. Salzburg got 3 of them in the first half. They only converted 1 of them, thankfully, but then it didn't matter because then Sevilla got a red card in the second half. It was their second yellow, but he gives a second yellow for diving. I mean, come on, man. You just called 4 penalty kicks in the first half. Of course, guys are going to go down as soon as they're touched in a box. You can't call it diving based on how you've been officiating that first half of that match. So that was unfortunate. Once Sevilla gets a red card, they're not going to go ahead and win that game. You're not winning. You can win games in league if you're in La Liga, if you're in the Premier League, if you're in Serie A, you can win being reduced down to 10 men. You're not winning being reduced down to 10 men in Champions League. We're going up against Champions League caliber team. So yeah, Sevilla gets a red card right there. Red cards didn't stop. No, red cards kept on going. Well, Villarreal at Atalanta. Yeah, we were on under 2.5, but Villarreal gets a red card in that game. Just another game. The red cards were astonishing, the number of red cards. Actually, there were 4 red cards. A red card happened in every game we bet. I mean, that's just the unlucky we got right there. Thankfully, we did get that Bayern money line. Yeah, they smashed Barcelona like we talked about. Yeah, just an easy bet right there. Knew that one was going to cash for us. And then we also got Chelsea win to 0. They got a nice 1-0 victory up over Zenit right there, so that was nice. Chelsea did what they did, and of course, under 2.5. We didn't bet it, but of course, under 2.5 cash in a Chelsea game. So they got the nice win there. They start off their Champions League defense there with all 3 points. But then the 4th and final red card came in that Wolfsburg versus Leal game. It's 0-0 through much of that game, and then Wolfsburg picks up a red card. Middle way through that second half. Well, they're not going to win that game at that point. On the road, get reduced down to 10 men. So, yeah, that bet right there, at least we got a push on that one. Obviously, we didn't lose any money on that one. We got our wager back, so that was the only good side of that. But would have liked 11 men to stay on that pitch for 90 minutes and could have maybe gotten a goal on that one, but that was unfortunate. And then, of course, once you have a bad day, you can kind of feel it. You can kind of feel it that you weren't going to hit that baseball parlay. Astros, win 15-1 2 nights ago and then come right back and aren't even competitive last night and lose 8-1. The Yankees did get a nice victory there in their game. But yeah, and then obviously you can see right there, scraped across a little bit of arbitrage bet. And the Cardinals versus Mets, there was a rife in that game. But yeah, so down a little bit over 2 units, and now down just up under 1 unit on the week. But it's only Wednesday, plenty of time to go ahead and get that back. I want to go ahead and announce the next free giveaway bet. You guys been around here long enough. We know we like to bet things here on this show. Not until the wheels fall off, because then you probably will have lost a lot of the profit you accumulated in that process. But I like to bet things at least until the wheels get wobbly. And so let's go back to the well here on the free giveaway. Let's just do those NFL underdogs. Let's run it back. I think it's going to be successful again for the same reason as it was in week 1. But then also you get week 2 overreaction by people. by the public, and they're going to skew lines in a way where I don't think it's going to be accurate. So let's just run back the NFL underdogs. You got 24 hours. 24 hours to get your name in that hat so we can go ahead and see who's going to win eventually come early next week. So comment on this video. That's all you've got to do is subscribe to this channel. You got to be a subscriber to this channel, and then you got to drop a comment on this video, and that'll get you in the entry period for the NFL underdogs week 2. And let's see if we can't cash you guys another one. All right, on the theme of giving away some money, let's go ahead now and talk about the NFL Eliminator, and let's go ahead and talk about the NFL Pigskin Pick'em contest that we're doing. Let's do the NFL Eliminator first. We got 36 people in the group. As you guys can see, 26 people were successful and 10 people were unsuccessful in week 1. What were some of the big teams? San Francisco 49ers, they got 11 of the entries right there. Of those 26 wins, 11 of them came from the 49ers, so they were a big, heavy favorite. Next was Buccaneers, and obviously I told you guys Buccaneers was the team I was on, so you got to win there. Rams, they were a big favorite there. No big surprise that a lot of people jumped on those Rams. 4 people did. We had one person on the Jaguars. That was a touch surprising. We did have somebody there on another one I thought was surprising. I thought the Falcons were a little bit surprising. I talked about how on my Fox Bet Super 6 video, I thought that game was kind of a toss-up right there. That one did surprise me. I thought the Titans were surprising. I think the Cardinals are going to be a good, solid team. At least they're going to always have a high-powered offense, so I thought that one was a touch surprising. And then a couple people got lucky with the Chiefs. Boy, did they get lucky right there. The Browns kind of melted there in that fourth quarter, but so that's all I do. So we got 26 people move on to week 2. So congratulations to those people that are still alive. Brutally tough game, but 26 people now march on to week 2. So I wish everybody good luck who's still in that competition to win $100. Let's go ahead now and move it on over to the Pigskin Pick'em contest. Let's go ahead and do straight first. As you guys can see right there, I was actually top of the leaderboard with 11 wins. I went 11-5, but it looked like Patrick also joined me at 11-5. So Patrick is the winner of the $20 so far in the Pigskin Pick'em contest straight for NFL Week 1. So Patrick needs to hit me up on Twitter, and I'll go ahead and send you $20 via PayPal. But lots of good results right there. A lot of people above 500, so lots of good results right there. So good luck on the Week 2. Obviously, we're putting up another $20 up for grabs. Let's move over now to the straight competition. We had Chase 2-3-4-8. He led the way here. He led the way right there with a nice 11-5 score. That's very good right there. I led the next group of people, a grouping of 3 at 10-6. So obviously, if I would have bet all 16 games being 10-6 with the odds generally speaking around -110, would have been a successful week for me. So I'm proud of that. Had a nice, good, solid week right there. And then as you can see right there, tough usually picking games against the spread, but I thought everybody did a good job. So congratulations to everybody. And Chase as well with Patrick. Go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. Drop me your PayPal information, and I'll go ahead and send you that $20. All right, let's go ahead now and get on into the slate of bets today. Let's go ahead and run through these soccer bets. Just do a quick little recap. We got PSG team total over 1.5 goals. Parlayed that with Dortmund team total over 1.5 goals and got that at -106. We're also going to run out that Liverpool money line parlay with under 4.5 goals in that game and got that one at -112. And then we're going to take Manchester City on the halftime full-time result at -120. There is one other thing going on over at DraftKings. You can do a $10 risk-free same-game parlay promotion that they've got going on. I am going to be doing that. I already tweeted that I'm either going to do it in the Manchester City game or the Liverpool game. I've even tweeted out what the 2 plays will be. I'm just waiting on lineups to know which of those 2 I'm going to go ahead and decide on. So look for me on Twitter. Lineups will come out at about 1 p.m. Central Time, so you can look for me very shortly after 1 p.m. Central Time to know which of those 2 I'm going to go ahead and get on. But we'll certainly be taking advantage of a risk-free same-game parlay promotion over there on DraftKings. All right, let's go ahead and now move it on to the baseball action. We got one baseball bet for today. We got Mitch Keller on the mound there for the Pirates. Our guy is on the mound there, and they're going up against the Reds. I'm going to go ahead and do the Reds F5 team total over 2.5 runs at +105 up over at DraftKings. We've talked about Mitch Keller. We've obviously cashed a lot of his starts this season, but we've also cashed his last 2 starts. We've been taking his over hits at over 4.5. It's now at 5.5. I wasn't all that surprised to see it now bumped up to 5.5. It's at pretty good money. It's at, I think, +125 last I saw, but I'm going to go ahead and stay away from that because now you're getting at what his number is exactly, and that's, we talked about how I think it's now, based on us cashing 2, it's now up to like 8 or 9 in a row where he's given up 6+, but there's a handful of those that are right at 6+. So I think the safer play is to go ahead and take that Reds F5 team total. The Reds have already faced them twice this season. They got 4 runs in 5 innings, and they got 7 runs in 3.1 innings. So the Reds have this guy's numbers. If he gets 6 hits, he's probably going to give up 3 runs in the process, but maybe he can get that without giving up 6 hits because you obviously get the walk factor, and then you can pop in a home run right there. So I just like the Reds, what they've been doing up against Mitch Keller over the course of the season, and then obviously Mitch Keller struggles, overall of the season. So we know this guy really well. So I pivoted off of his hits total. I'm going to go ahead and do that Reds F5 team total over 2.5 runs for me. All right, now let's turn the page to Thursday Night Football. I got the last of the bets for Thursday Night Football to go ahead and give you guys on today's show. And one of these I already tweeted out yesterday. I'm looking at Logan Thomas, tight end there for Washington, over 4.5 receptions at plus 105 up over at DraftKings. We should all give a little wave to this guy. Hello, old friends. We know Logan Thomas very, very well. We were tailing him probably the last 6 or so games of last season, whether it was his receiving yards or whether it was his receptions. We were cashing, I think, his about last 6 or so games of last season. So this is our good old buddy, Logan Thomas. Hello, Logan. If we look at last week, he only got 3 targets. He got all 3 catches, though, on those 3 targets. But the thing that's encouraging about that is all 3 of them came with Heineke once Ryan Fitzpatrick had exited that game. And that's no real big surprise. While veterans certainly like tight ends, they don't like tight ends as much as young, inexperienced quarterbacks. So no big surprise. As soon as Heineke was in that game, he went and was looking at Logan Thomas 3 times and threw to him 3 times. So we like that. He also, in Heineke, played 2 times in 2020. He got 5+ in both of those games in which Heineke was a starter or played in 2020. That was up against the Panthers and the Bucks. One of those against the Panthers, Heineke didn't even play the full game. He came on in relief against Dwayne Haskins there. So maybe even could have gotten a little bit more. But either way, we like that. In both games in which he played in 2020, Logan Thomas went up over 5 receptions. He's gotten 5+ targets in 2 of his 17 games in 2020, so absolutely like that. And then if we look at what the Giants did or what the Giants allowed last week up against the Broncos, well, Noah Fant caught 6 passes on 8 targets, so they obviously had somewhat of a problem struggling that tight end position. Noah Fant's a good tight end. He's not, a whole hell of a lot better than Logan Thomas, but Logan Thomas is a good tight end in his own right. These players are probably relatively on the same playing field. So, yeah, given that the Giants allowed Noah Fant to have a good game, but more importantly, I like the chemistry and the connection that Heineke is always looking Logan Thomas's way. I expect that to continue on in tonight or on the Thursday night. So go ahead and do Logan Thomas over 4.5 receptions at plus 105 over at DraftKings. The next 2 I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys Washington money line at minus 148 over at Bet Rivers. Tweeted that bet out yesterday. And then I'm also going to take the under in Giants versus Washington, under 41.5 points at minus 117 over at Bet Rivers. I'm not going to justify that a whole hell of a lot because you guys already know I uploaded a video yesterday on the Fox Bet Super 6 app where you can win $25,000 correctly answering questions on Thursday Night Football. Well, obviously I predicted the Washington in that game, and I gave you guys my score prediction in that video as well. It obviously falls under 41.5, but I kind of talk about that game at length. I can tell that a lot of you have already watched that video, so I'll just go ahead and hit you guys with those 2 bets, and we'll keep the discussion on rolling. Go ahead and hit you guys with one more bet. This one's for Sunday. It's already a player prop. I'm going to do David Montgomery over 14.5 rush attempts. You can find that at minus 105 up over at DraftKings. He got 16 carries last week against the Rams. Think about that. He got 16 carries up against the Rams last week. The Rams are a far, far better defense than what the Bengals are, than what he's going to face this weekend. So if the Bears had a game plan to run it against the Rams, I can only imagine what they'll do up against the Bengals defense. I know the Bengals had a good amount of success stopping Dalvin Cook, but just from a game plan perspective of what Matt Nagy did, he would have assumed that the Rams are going to be their good, normal defense. Now, Montgomery had a really, really good game. Got up over 100 yards in those 16 carries. So that's going to give them confidence to have over 100 yards. They're going to want to go right back to David Montgomery again this week and up against the Bengals defense. So I like that. And also just look at how often the Bears were going for it earlier on 4th down. I mean, that just kind of shows you the mentality of Matt Nagy and his, wanting, he knew he was up against it because he knew that was going to be a high-scoring game. and yet he was still running the ball that much, right? In a game where he knew he was going to have to go for it on fourth down a lot to keep up with the high-powered Rams offense, yet he still carried the ball 16 times. Absolutely like that. And if you look at the math, we simply only need about 4 or so carries per quarter. I mean, that's not a whole hell of a lot. So like that right there. And this should also be a close game. I mean, the point spread is about 2.5, 3 points, depending on the sports book you look at. It's got a low point total, so we are expecting a close, tight-knit game. All this just factors into David Montgomery getting up over 4.5 rush attempts, and I like that over at minus 105 up over at DraftKings. All right, let's go ahead and hit you guys with the recap. We're going to do a PSG team total over 1.5 parlay with Dortmund. Team total over 1.5 at minus 106. Let's get that Liverpool money line parlay with under 4.5 at minus 112. Let's do Man City on that halftime and full time at minus 120. Let's take that Reds F5 team total over 2.5 runs at plus 105. Go ahead and back me with Logan Thomas over 4.5 receptions at plus 105. And then the two that I gave out yesterday, Sterling Shepard over 4.5 receptions at minus 135. Antonio Gibson over 15.5 rush attempts at minus 115. Take that Washington money line at minus 148. Take that Giants Washington under 41.5 at minus 117. And go ahead and take David Montgomery over 14.5 rush attempts at minus 105. All right, guys, let's have a nice, good, bounce back day. Let's hope these refs are cool to us and have us a good, solid day. Don't forget, guys, drop a comment on this video so you can be a part of the next free giveaway for NFL Underdogs Week 2. Look for those suckers to cash. I think the dogs will be barking again, so we'll run that free giveaway back for you guys. All right, go enjoy your Wednesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today, and check out my other great videos in these corners.